Here is
105.5.
Accessing
105.5.
one station, all the hits.
105.5. Splash.
It's your BBC Minute with Tom.
And Laura.
Police in Western Germany now say at least 42 people have been killed during the worst flooding to hit the region in living memory.
Yeah, at least 70 more are missing after heavy rain saw buildings collapse and cars swept away.
Well, the extreme weather has also hit other parts of Europe, including Belgium, where at least 6 people have died.
In COVID news, the organisers of the Tokyo Olympics say 1 athlete and 5 workers have tested positive just 8 days before the opening ceremony. Olympics chief Thomas Bach has, though, insisted the game's strict antivirus rules are working and will keep the people of Japan safe.
Cycling, and French police have searched the accommodation and bus of the Bahrain victorious team on the Tour de France. They haven't given a reason for the raid. A team's statement said it adhered to all regulations.
Supermodel Gigi Hadid will replace Chrissy Teigen on season 2 of Never Have I Ever.
Yeah, Chrissy was set to play the character of Paxton's narrator in the Netflix show, but left in June after admitting to having bullied people online.
1359G. BBC Minute.
Quick, charge at 240.
Hot news, cool vibes, sports, and more on the Integrity Station.
Here is
105.5.
Accessing
105.5.
one station, all the hits.
105.5. Splash.
All right, you're welcome to Talking Points this afternoon. My name is Michael Olatunbosun, and it is the 15th day in the month of July 2021. Good afternoon and welcome. It's Splash FM, of course, the Integrity Station where we promote the right values. So today, as usual, our business is about tracking what's going on around us. I want to particularly focus on constituency projects. Do you know, or have you heard that the federal government has cash-backed the 2020 constituency projects, which we call zonal intervention projects, 100%. So in other words, the 100 billion naira allocated for constituency projects across the nation has been paid in full by the federal government. So, but what are your own roles in this matter? I hope to dig up this matter on the program Talking Points today. But before I go that way, I'd like to just take a look at some of the big stories emerging at this moment. For instance, in the Punch newspaper, it says Senate passes harmonized PIB amidst protests. Senate on Thursday passed the harmonized petroleum industry bill, which was produced by a conference committee of both chambers of the National Assembly last week. The harmonized version of the PIB was submitted for consideration by the federal lawmakers on Thursday at plenary. Prior to the approval of the proposed legislation through voice votes, senators from the South-South geopolitical zone protested against the proposed 3% equity share for the oil host communities. President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, however, prevailed on Senator Seriake Dixon to back down on his threat to lead his colleagues to stage a walkout. An investigation conducted by correspondents of the Punch, that is, on Wednesday had revealed that both chambers of the National Assembly might have agreed to approve 3% as equity share for the oil host communities in the country. So you understand that, was around about the issue of it was reduced from 5% really to 3%, and then you have the other the other hanging questions about the frontiers and the rest of it. Okay, so but the point is that the Senate has passed the harmonized PIB amidst protests. Okay, so you get that. Let's enjoy the moment. So just a few other stories in the media, and then I'll talk to someone who will be giving us ideas about the constituency project thing. So there was a rowdy session indeed as South reps protest over allocation to host communities. So that's the story. Okay, in case you'd like to find it, you can check out the Punch newspapers. Of course, this story is in other news platforms. So let's go ahead and check them out. Okay, it's still talking points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. And quite a number of things on the table as well. Just check out a few other news items. Imagine at the moment. For instance, you heard about the question of the electoral amendment and so on and so forth. So let's continue to talk about that really. Just visit a few items in the newspapers before I bring the conversation to constituency projects. Some of you might want to know why we have constituency projects. The beginnings of constituency projects in Nigeria. Why you have constituency project or the rationale. I'll bring that to the microphone in a moment. The Vanguard says reps shouting match over PIB. Reps in shouting match over PIB. Okay. So breaking, PIB Conference Committee adopts 3% equity share for host communities, 30% for frontier basin exploration. And that has also been, a contentious item. Well, what do you know? Okay, so let's see another news item here. The Vanguard newspaper here. Breaking, Senate in disarray, stalemate over Electoral Act. And the riders, as Lawan-led Senate concedes INEC's power to NCC. As Lawan forces senators into closed-door session. Okay, so confusion, anger has enveloped the hallowed chamber of senators consider the report on the Electoral Bill 2021, which is a bill for an act to repeal the Electoral Act number 6, 2010, and enact the Electoral Act 2021 to regulate the conduct of federal, state, and area councils in the Federal Capital Territories elections. Confusion and anger as the Senator Ahmed Lawan-led Senate has now conceded the powers of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to the Nigeria Communications Commission, NCC, that will now transmit results of election rather than the latter. According to what they voted for, the NCC and the National Assembly will take over the network, take over the work of INEC by transmitting the results against the backdrop that INEC cannot carry out the electronic transmission of results unless the NCC and the National Assembly approve. Trouble started when, after the presentation of the report by Chairman, Senate Committee on INEC, Senator Kabiru Gaya, APC Kano South, read the report, and the Deputy Chief Whip of the Senate, Senator Sabi Abdullahi, APC Niger North, moved for an amendment of Clause 52.3. The original 52.3 as contained in the report under consideration read, I quote, the Commission may transmit results of elections by electronic means where and when practicable. But his amendment to the content as contained in the clause, Senator Sabi Abdullahi said, and I quote now, the Commission may consider electronic transmission of results provided that the national coverage as adjudged by the Nigerian Communications Commission and approved by the National Assembly. Okay. So this did not go down well with some senators, as Senator Dixon, PDP Bayelsa, moved that what is contained in the recommendation, but was moved out. Sometimes you need to just check out some of the constructions. There was stalemate and closed door session later. That's according to the Vanguard. What do you think about this? All right. 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 07069 499 3000. This is one of the stories that I read out. Breaking: Senate in disarray, stalemate over Electoral Act. Okay, so concession of INEC's power to NCC. Really, how do you react to some of these items? Call me now. 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 07069 499 3000. Okay, so how do you react to some of these questions? Talk to me now. 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 0807 0805 699 8678, and 07069 499 3000. Those are the numbers in case you'd like to talk to me on the program Talking Points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. Let's go ahead and do that, okay? I'm here to attend to your calls, really, if you make those calls now. Okay, so what do you think? Those are the big questions, worthy of conversations, really. Okay, so I'll get your comments pretty soon if you'd like to join the conversation, okay? All right, so talk to me. All right, so let's see how you go about this matter. Just go ahead and just take a look at another matter on the program before I go to the question of constituency projects. I told you about it, and I thought that citizens need to, have a say. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Folahome.
Okay, Mr. Folahome, let's talk, sir.
The ongoing debate at the National Assembly suggested the fears being expressed by a large number of the citizens. And I want to describe that as nothing but an electoral ambush by our elected representatives.
What do you mean by that?
Who, of course, in their wisdom, are not going there to represent the interests and the yearnings of Nigerians. Any decent mind in the last 1 week will know that anything short of electronic transmission of results to make that process credible, transparent, and acceptable will not be acceptable.
But the Senate says that the NCC is better able to do that. Don't forget that the NCC, Nigerian Communications Commission,
is still part of the dilly-dally game. How does the NCC, is the NCC empowered by the Commission to provide that purpose? They cannot just take those powers from INEC and expect that any other agency of government will do that. It's a way of modding up our democracy. Nigeria will have to be unequivocal to say no to that ambush. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for calling. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Michael.
Welcome to Talking Points.
Olushola Julius is my name.
Yes, sir.
Now, Michael, let's ask ourselves a question. These representatives, are they going there to represent us or to represent themselves?
Okay.
Now, are they going there to fulfill the mandate and the biddings of Nigerians? You see, there is one language that Ahmed Lawa said some time ago, that any bill that comes or anything that comes from Mr. President happens to be the best for Nigerians. And honestly, we have discovered that sometimes Mr. President will say it is like this, and Nigerians will say, no, we don't want it like that. He's our servant. We are supposed to be controlling him. So I don't know why these people are now telling us on the issue of this electoral bill that they have to follow a pattern that will not suit the heart of Nigerians. I don't know. What does NCC have to do with transmission of electoral results? Now, Michael, don't you know that there are people, experts that are there that can tamper with those results, even as the NCC members are allowed to transmit them? honestly, we need to get things right in this country.
All right.
Our elections are porous, and honestly, they have been monetized. We need to do things in the right direction. And we get it right. All these ones these people are doing is not favoring us. They only want to stick to power and remain there forever.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Olushola Julius there. Okay. You'd like to be a part of this? Talk to me now. One or two more calls before I go on the break. And then after the break, I'll talk about tracking constituency projects in Nigeria. Okay. Caller here beckons. Hello. Good afternoon. Comrade Sado, let's talk, sir.
Our lawmakers are very funny. If it is matter that concerns their salary, their emolument, would they say this is referred to the body first? Why they say the annex is the one to decide whether the provincial land of freedom will be important or not? So that don't be funny. So I think Nigeria to stand up for such a thing so that they have to stand a set of that. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. Okay. Oh, well. Would you like to add your voice to this matter? We're very much open and available. Before we go to the next item, 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 07069 493 3000. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. My name is Abiodun. I'm calling you from Ibadan.
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, I want to comment on these two bills, the PIB and the electoral bill.
Yes, sir.
Now, let me say electoral law or the bill, I don't know. Now, basically, the first question we should be asking ourselves is that in the southern part of Nigeria, that is including east, west, and south, that has been championing 10% for communities in the PIB and also electronic voting. I want to ask us a question, sir, because I always find it very worrisome. Our representatives that are representing us from this part of the country, are they there to just go and sit down? Because if you look at this entire issue, it is like beating a dead body. Already, everything has been included into the document, and you are coming out to begin to shout and complain. What were you doing during the public hearing when this whole thing was included into that they should give communities 3%? Don't forget, sir, that the deputy Senate president is from the South, is not from the North. Let our people stand up. See, is our education truly useful to us? You see, I grew up in the North. We should stop blaming these people. If the North doesn't want us to carry out electronic voting, that is the gospel truth. Because of yes, they don't want it now. You just, is it not the fact that it's promoting it? How many people from the North are promoting electronic voting? It's very few. That is the gospel truth.
Okay.
So please, our representatives should do their work. If they're not ready to work, let us know. So that we shouldn't be apportioning blame to where we are not supposed to. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Abiodun, there for calling. And it's a commercial break on the program, Talking Points on Splash FM. When we come back, constituency projects, what should you know when we come back?
Splash FM 105.5.
Don't worry, Ma. He'll be home on time, just like his dad.
Are you sure?
Yes, Ma. I'm cooking their favorite jollof with Sonia tomato mix. They are here.
Hey, is the jollof ready?
See? Right on time.
Your loved ones will always rush home for tasty meals prepared with Sonia tomato mix.
Mommy, the jollof is yummy.
I wouldn't miss this jollof for anything.
It's so good eating together with a family.
Yes, Ma. All thanks to Sonia.
Sonia tomato mix brings you together. Proudly Nigerian.
Love learning. You can love learning. Anywhere, anytime. You can start learning when you decide. Get the best tutors to help your kids and brighten the future. Your lesson is the solution for easy learning, no complication. To love learning every day. Download the app and learn for free with your lesson. No, you love learning. No, study for why I can echo Jamboni go with your lesson. No, you love learning. No, getting better grades is easy. How when you go with missing, oh.
Download on the Google Play Store and Apple App Store. Also available on web at ulesson.com.
Them say your ginger, now pepper them style. Show them say you sabi your legwork moves. Beba there. Give them as it is hot with extra spice. Oh shit. With the confirmed taste of bold ginger. Show them your ginger.
Bold ginger. Now the confirmed soft drink. We get spicy taste that keeps you refreshed. Bold soft drink also the
Michelle Joe. Muka. Oh my ronu.
Mommy, let's play football. Mommy, help me push my bicycle. Mommy, jump rope. Mommy, here, let's play hide and seek. Mommy, let's have some Twisco. You need it.
It's easy to spot a Twisco kid because they seem to be so active. Introducing new Twisco chocolate drink powder, a unique blend of cocoa, milk, and malt, fortified with Enafort, a special blend of vitamins and minerals that helps give kids the vitality they need for an action-packed day.
Twisco, power your dream.
Splash FM 105.5.
All right, you're welcome back. It's still Talking Points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. A few pages, beg your pardon, that I have here. And then I'll bring my guest to the microphone. I will be speaking to the question of constituency projects on the program today. The concept of the constituency project was first introduced in Nigeria during the administration of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. The leadership of the National Assembly had approved the executive under the Obasanjo's administration at that time for approval of constituency projects, and prior to 1999 and indeed until 2003. The phenomenon of constituency projects, or which you now call zonal intervention projects, was alien to Nigerians' budgeting system. However, the return to democracy in 1999 and the chronic failure of the executive to ensure even distribution of projects across the 36 states, 774 local governments, and indeed all the electoral wards, and the resultant disquiet from aggrieved Nigerians in the rural areas, lawmakers were left with no option but to begin the agitation for equitable allocation and distribution of federal projects nationwide. Their demand was an apparent response to frequent demands of their constituents as well for the dividends of governance, if you like. The executive saw reasons with the legislators and approved the constituency projects for them. Fundamentally, the aim of the constituency project should be the redistribution of national resources to the community to improve rural economy, alleviate poverty, and create employment and improve the standard of living of the people. It is also to ensure that services and facilities are closer to the people as a means of reducing poverty. So constituency projects were initiated by the federal government to foster a good relationship between the executive and legislature. This usually comes to the National Assembly as an Executive Act Special Intervention Fund to assist in providing basic infrastructure projects to the various constituencies across the country. So from the start, especially during the Obasanjo government, senators received 5 million naira each, while each member of the House of Representatives got 3 million naira as constituency allowance. Arguably, these payments were not captured in the budget. However, one of the controversies that trailed the handling of the projects arose from the lack of consensus or agreement among members of the House of Representatives and senators from each senatorial district on a set of projects to be implemented in their respective constituencies. A bit of a rationale of this constituency project phenomenon. The primary reason for establishing any government is to provide public good for the greater number of people through good governance. But in the case of Nigeria, the people are hungry for democracy dividends and demand same from their elected representatives. Perhaps the constituency project is a response to the yearnings of Nigerians for democracy and its dividends. Okay. In an article in the Nation newspaper of 1st July 2016, Abdulrazak Namdas, chairman, House of Reps Committee on Media and Publicity, stated that one major reason why lawmakers will always insist on having projects in their budget is that the executive hasn't come clean on the issue of lopsided allocation of projects. So according to him, the practice has consistently been that if the minister or permanent secretary or even directors in any given ministry or parastatal is from a particular part of the country, they would normally allocate a substantial percentage of the projects or capital votes to their states or geopolitical zones, while leaving out the rest of the country to grapple with the remaining negligible percentage. So you have that, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. All right? So, but the point is this. We can deduce from all that I've read so far that the concept of constituency project cropped up as a result of the need to ensure equitable and even distribution of infrastructure or development. However, parliamentarians merely recommend programs and projects to be cited in their constituencies based on what these parliamentarians perceive to be the needs of their constituents. Mark the word perceive or perception if you like. On the other hand, the Nigerian masses view the concept of constituency project as another conduit pipe through which the nation's treasury is being drained. For instance, the former President Olusegun Obasanjo accused senators and members of the House of Representatives of corruption through the padding of federal budgets and a collection of unjustifiable allowances that amounts to billions of naira. I will leave that and come to the present. What is happening in the present moment? Okay, so a few years ago, the ICPC, came up with an idea. They called the idea the tracking of the constituency projects. So let me just give you a bit of that before I come to my guest. Okay, so given our national appetite for back dealings and little regard for accountability, the constituency project fund may be likened to an open vault begging to be misused or even looted if not properly followed up. So it is in light of this that the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, launched what is called Constituency Project Tracking Group Initiative. This project came in the wake of increased complaints by citizens regarding the shoddy completion, non-completion or outright non-existence of these projects in their locale, in spite of the huge releases by the federal government. This suggests that constituency projects are mainly a conduit for diversion of funds through the implementing MDAs. So you have organizations like Budget through their tracker project, Follow the Money, Data Fight, etc. are also in the business of tracking constituency projects across the country. Listen to this. Tracker recently observed that a higher percentage of 100 billion naira allocated for zonal intervention projects, or you call them constituency projects, in 2020, approved budgets were allocated for empowerment projects in lieu of infrastructure projects. They also noted lack of transparency and citizen inclusion in the nomination of the capital projects that has led to an increasing number of abandoned projects in various communities across Nigeria. And despite the huge funds allocated for capital expenditure over the years, some projects are either left uncompleted, mismanaged, or worse still, abandoned. Tracker's analysis also revealed that over 50% of nominated projects in the last 5 years were empowerment projects. These programs include the disbursement of items like sewing machines, bicycles, tricycles, grinding machines, among other things, to constituent members. In 2019 and 2020 alone, a total of 58 billion naira and 63 billion naira respectively for empowerment were allocated for empowerment provisions. So how do politicians come to determine the empowerment needs of their constituents without needs assessment, the inclusion in the decision-making process, and how the beneficiaries are decided? Those are the questions, right? According to reports, the government has in the past 11 years allocated a minimum of 1.1 trillion naira for constituency projects. Note that funds are not being released. Okay, I mean, the 2020 budget for constituency projects, 100 billion, has been released 100%. Okay, so the question is, what exactly is the situation? I have in the studio with me Ademuyiwa Adeyemi. He is an economic analyst and someone who is very familiar with the terrain in terms of tracking of constituency projects. Adeyemi, welcome.
It's my pleasure to be here once again.
Okay, so Let's start from the bottom here. Constituency projects for the 2020 financial or fiscal year have been released by the federal government. So the federal government is not owing for constituency projects 100 billion naira paid in full. Tell me your experience on the field tracking constituency projects across the state.
The experience was so mysterious, so funny. Let me put it that way, because we discovered that things that we normally come across do happen again. And what are the things? That the money accrued for empowerment are very huge. And aside that, the same complaint we had is that majority of the modality of selecting the beneficiaries were not spelled out. And the capital project has to be with a very low amount of money, which some have not done, or which some have not just on the line Ibadan. And we see that this thing continues, and it calls for we, the citizens, to work hand in hand. Hand in hand, I mean that reaching out to them. That's what we have been doing now. Even I'm coming from somewhere now. That the problem we have is not at the top, but at the middle. Meaning that the channel of distributing this, or channel of making the project to be implemented. I mean that when the National Assembly have disbursed the money goes to the
ministries, departments, and agencies. Yeah, that are supposed to implement the projects.
And they will give the contract to agency. Okay. And at times, some of these agencies even subcontract this project to other projects. But the bottom line, the problem is that how effective are these MDAs to make sure that they are monitoring this project?
Monitoring. Okay, so the question
and
is...
And even if some so-called different CS or NGOs try to push it forward to them to see the update or to ask about the update of this, they call them. That's it.
Okay, so the question for me is, I want to know the process, or I want the people who are listening to us for the process. So when a senator or a member of the House of Reps, nominates a project under the ZIP or the constituency projects, it is put in the budget, right?
Yes.
Okay. When the budget is passed, it is put in the budget under a certain ministry or department or agency. So, for instance, if I want to provide water for people in Felele, right?
I will be under Ministry of Water Resources.
Under the Ministry of Water Resources, even though I am the senator or I am the member of the House of Reps.
So the Ministry of Water Resources will be aware of it fully.
So they are the ones who will award the contract out.
Yes, to the agency that will carry it out.
Okay. So so the question is, a lot of us say that, a lot of people say out there that these members of the House of Reps or senators, they take the money. How does that happen?
Let me put it this way. There is one usual saying that failed to prepare is prepared to fail. And the process is that we still need strong institution whereby normal process of nominating this project has to be in place. For example, before a project could be nominated, the honorable or the senator in charge, or let me say their PAs.
Yeah, exactly.
Is a mandatory for them to go to all the wards
and
under them.
What you call needs assessment.
So needs assessment. What are their challenges?
It's basically what do you want? Okay.
So based on their facts and figures, they will now nominate projects on it. But it is very disheartening that these are not done.
Okay. So that's number one gap.
That's number. Yes.
Most of these members of the National Assembly essentially do not conduct what you call needs assessment.
One first thing. The second thing is that they don't make themselves ready for the populace. Some people, they will tell you they don't even know their representative.
But they voted. So, well, that's a topic for another day, really. So you voted, but you don't know your rep or your senator. Yes. How did you vote then? Did anybody blindfold you? That's a matter for another day. But my basic question is, a lot of projects either do not have locations attached to them. It is reported, according to Budget. I was reading the last part of this from Budget, that a lot of projects, even if their locations are attached, the jobs are either not done, or incomplete or just there.
Sure.
So I need to, or mismanaged, so to speak. I need to know who should be asking questions about the progress in implementing constituency projects before we go to empowerment, really.
The so-called people that are supposed to be asking is the people, the masses. And the problem is that most of these masses, they were not well fed with rightful information.
Okay, so there's a gap there.
There is a
so
gap
even
there.
if you are doing a constituency project in my area, I may not even know.
No.
I may assume that it is your donation.
Let me give you an analogy. Let me as example. There is one project around the saying in 2020. We went there. So it is school project. We told her that there is allocation for social project, a class of 3 classroom with VIP toilet and water. So we gave them the information. I even gave them the publication. So later, when we tried to call to make alpha, they said that they received one contractor, but the contractor told them that they just want to dig water for them. They now start fighting the contractor, making use of the information we given to them that see, we need this classroom. But at the end, a block of 2 classrooms were implemented.
So rather than 3 classrooms?
Rather than 3 classrooms. But I didn't mean they don't have that information before. They will just dig that water and leave.
So it means that the people need to be informed of what's going on around them.
Yes.
Okay, so how do you now question the contractor or whoever if the project has the picture of the representative or the senator on it? And under the pretext that it is a donation. A lot of times you see, when I drive around town, I see constituency projects and I see pictures of the senator or the rep on them.
There's one that happened in Lagos sometime that budget attacked. They can never say that maybe donated, that word. They can only make it or maybe facilitated. They just facilitate. It's not their money.
So should you even add facilitated to it? If it is our money that you are spending for us.
I see that most of them use that avenue to claim their name and for campaign purpose. Okay. Which is very, very wrong.
Okay. The one that I really want to talk about today is a lot of times you discover that most of the of constituency projects, for instance, in 2019 and in 2020, a total of 58 billion for 2019 and a total of 63 billion in 2020 were allocated for empowerment provisions. Should constituency projects really include empowerment provisions, vocational training for people who are sick, give them money and all that? Should really?
If you let us consider the state at which we are in this economy now, I think the percentage given to empowerment projects should go down. If it's possible, 10% or 20%. It's just like when you have bad roads and you are giving bicycle.
But the point is that the people who are choosing empowerment projects have their reasons. It's usually not easy to track empowerment projects.
Very, very, very hard. And that is why at times we don't really like tracking them. Because it is meant for, it is meant for political loyalists. Yes. Those who know somebody that is in politics. Ordinary person, hardly you see ordinary person that can enjoy that dividend of democracy. Yes, hardly. You see. Now, and another thing we are trying to do that we want, if it is possible, is that even the modalities of getting this empowerment are not well done. Now, some people, I heard it 2 years ago, the motorcycle that was given as empowerment, immediately the person received it and he sold it away.
Wow.
Because it's not useful to him. But there are some people looking up to that, saying that the assignment, this need to scrutinize those who need these empowerment items before giving those things to them. But those things are not done.
Okay. All right. So we'll get back to this matter on the program, Talking Points on Splash FM. When we come back from this break, it's a commercial break. Please don't go away.
Splash FM 105.5.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ojúlówó Nasco cornflakes kún fún èròjà tí ń ṣara lóore tó dára nítorí wípé Old Flaked cornflakes náà ni Old Flaked cornflakes ní apilẹ̀ṣe ní ìlànà tí gbogbo èròjà ṣara lóore inú rẹ̀ ò fi lè yingin oúnjẹ aṣara lóore ni adùn inú rẹ̀ afẹnuwó ó sì dára fún gbogbo ẹbí nítorí náà tí àtijẹ cornflakes bá dé rí i dájú pé Old Flaked Nasco cornflakes ló yàn láàyò oúnjẹ aládùn tó dára ní gbogbo ìgbà.
Do you know that you have the right to quality broadcasting? The National Broadcasting Commission says any person, group of persons, or organization aggrieved by the content of a broadcast or the conduct of a broadcast station may lodge a complaint to the station and all right to the Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, number 20, Ibrahim Taiwo Street, Asokoro, Abuja, or send a mail via info@nbc.gov.ng. Please ensure that your complaint includes name of the broadcast station, title of the program, date and time of broadcast, and essence of the complaint. Also, remember to include your name, address, telephone number, email, and append your signature. Note that your complaint must reach the NBC within 14 days of the queried broadcast. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting.
Tolú báwo ni ìrìnàjò ẹ̀? Ilẹ̀ Haúsá dùn. Mo jẹ oúnjẹ kan tó ń pè ní dambu ìṣèkápá níbẹ̀. Ọ̀rẹ́, adùn àti tasọ́sán ìlú lárinrin.
Oúnjẹ ti délẹ̀ o.
Láìdé, oúnjẹ yẹn náà ló sè é. Ó tún dùn jù yẹn lọ. Báwo ló ṣe sè é? Ìsebẹ̀ ọ̀ngà. Òun ni ìsebẹ̀ tó nílò fádùn àti tasọ́sán tó lélẹ̀. Dùn àwọn tó fẹ́ràn nínú pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ aládùn nínú ilé rẹ̀.
Onga, Mama's helping hand.
Hey you! Yeah, you! Awesomeness is now back on radio.
Are you serious?
In its freshest form on Splash 1055, the hottest frequency in the Southwest. You must have been hearing it. Continue. So I finally got back with my ex. Oh, I meant my first love, pardon me. Catch me, Edwin Paul, live on Splash Plus. Mondays and Wednesdays, 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. And Tuesdays, Drift Lounge, 10:30 p.m. till midnight with DJ AY. The Ace DJ with the touch of excellence. Only on Splash 105.5 FM. Oh, did I forget giveaway? Yes, of course, giveaway. The best of hit music and banter to keep you glued to your radio. That's how radio should sound anyway. Mondays and Wednesdays, 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. Tuesdays, 10:30 p.m. till midnight. The Integrity Station is about to get extra lit and funky vibe.
Aláṣẹ ló ní jábá ti fẹ́ rajà ẹ má dààmú mọ́ ó ti di rọrùn ẹ pè wá sórí aago láàrin ìṣẹ́jú kan a máa kàn yín lára free delivery ní ṣẹ́ẹ̀sì wa Alẹ́sọ ẹ pariwo Alẹ́sọ ẹ pariwo Alẹ́sọ ẹ pariwo Alẹ́sọ we do sell beverages detergents Alẹ́sọ antasemo wheat lápòlápò ẹ pariwo Alẹ́sọ baby's good lóríṣiríṣi Alẹ́sọ full stop lápòlápò ní pálípálí ẹ pariwo Alẹ́sọ alárìndòdò tó ga gan. a ti wà káàkiri orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà pàápàá jùlọ South West ẹ pè customer care wa lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ sórí 08000253796 tàbí 07002537967 kódà nílé iṣẹ́ wa ẹ lè sanwó nígbà tá a bá tó gbé ọjà yín dé pẹ̀lú Alẹ́sọ Limited ọjà rírà rẹ ti dìrọ̀rùn.
It's game night at the Bensons and everyone's having fun. Then, this.
Hey, son, what's the matter? You too? No way.
Don't let coughs and the common cold ruin your fun time. Tuxil range of uniquely formulated day and night syrups provides effective relief from cough and cold. Product may cause drowsiness. Tuxil, the job gets done when the cough is gone. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor.
Tolú báwo ni ìrìnàjò ẹ̀? Ilẹ̀ Haúsá dùn. Mo jẹ oúnjẹ kan tó ń pè ní dambu ìṣèkápá níbẹ̀. Ọ̀rẹ́, adùn àti tasọ́sán ìlú lárinrin.
Oúnjẹ ti délẹ̀ o.
Láìdé, oúnjẹ yẹn náà ló sè é. Ó tún dùn jù yẹn lọ báwo ló ṣe sè é. ìsebẹ̀ ọ̀ngà òun nìsebẹ̀ tó nílò fadùn àti ìtasánsánsán tó lélẹ̀ dùn àwọn tó fẹ́ràn nínú pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ aládùn nínú ilé rẹ̀.
Onga, Mama's helping hand.
Splash FM 105.5.
All right, it's still talking points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. We're tracking constituency projects in Nigeria. Told you that 100% of the 100 billion naira allocated for constituency projects, or you call them zonal intervention projects, have been released by the federal government. So we're trying to ask you, for 2020, so I'm trying to ask you whether you know of any constituency project in your area, and if the job has been completed or ongoing or whatever it is. Okay, so for 2021 zonal intervention project, 100 billion also allocated to it, signed in the budget, and 25% of it, for 2021, has been released to the ministries, departments, and agencies that are supposed to implement these projects. Are you helping to track? Don't forget that these constituency projects are for you. Okay, so there are projects that are supposed to help you to cushion the effect of, the biting nature of the economy and so many other things. In fact, they are described as dividends of democracy, or if you like, dividends of governance. That's how I like to describe them. Ademuyiwa Adeyemi, economic analyst as well as an officer of budget, particularly for Tracker, is still with me. You are talking here. In 2020, constituency projects allocated to Oyo State, how many of them?
We have 49. You know, one thing is that
you have 49 projects
for zonal
intervention projects. Okay.
And we have 110 for consolidated projects from the federal government.
Okay. Okay, so tell me, how many have you tracked in these projects?
I tracked the 49 projects.
Okay.
And out of the 49 projects, 29 were completed, 1 is ongoing, and 19 were not done.
Wow.
And even the 29 that I said were completed, it's just with the effort of further research that we got to know that this project has been done, because they are not specified. They are not specified. If they have been specified, we will have gone to those communities to inform them about this. But this project I'm talking about, they were not specified.
But 19 are yet not done. After now that we know that 100% of the money has been released. Okay, so the question is, what happens to these 19 that are not done? So let's even say that, okay, the 29 that are completed, no specifications and all that, but they are still done, right? Yes. Even if they are done haphazardly, maybe not according to specification and all that, yes, but they are still done, right? Okay, but my question is the ones that are not done. 19 of them, that's massive number, if you ask me. 19 projects not done. What should we do about that as citizens?
As citizens, we keep on asking questions, those who are representing us and the MDAs.
So what if the citizens who are supposed to ask questions don't even know that there is a constituency project allocated for my community? What should they do?
The advice I will give to them is that they can try to be often log into www.budget.com and www.tracker.ng in Facebook and other social media. They can meet us there and be getting updates on information or how they can contact us.
I'm subscribed to Budget.
Okay.
Budget, and the budget tells me how much has been allocated to Oyo State every month from the federation account, and also how much I chose a local government where I live.
Yes.
I chose a local government, and Budget tells me what has come to that local government that month. I get this report every time. So you're saying that people out there can also get this information,
yes,
so that they can help to understand what's going on around them and then ask questions.
As a taxpayer, they need to know how their public funds have been spent. And this public fund must work for the grassroots, because these are the things that create an enabling environment to foster the economic activities.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, brother Mike.
You're very much welcome, sir.
Thank you for a good job you are doing there.
Yes, sir.
My concern is...
Your name? Your name, sir?
I'm Comrade Oluwawuyemi from Oyo.
Yes, sir.
Needs assessment. Now, is it what the people there perceive that the people need, or what the people themselves say they need? Then, how much of involvement is involved at the local level? For example, development unions, development associations, and all that. If it could extend up to the traditional rulers, so that people will know, okay, these things are made for our people, and how do they monitor it, so that the people will really feel that it's coming, is theirs.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Needs assessment is important. So the question is, do the people even ask when a project is coming to their location? Do they even ask how did you decide? Essentially, it tells me that the people behave or feel that they are powerless, and so they cannot ask questions. So for people like you will be tagged as troublemakers, really.
Sure. Even that person that come from Oyole, if he notice that there is some construction of mini stadium at Oderemo, it came out two consecutive years now, yet to be done. As it's even in 2021, and that money has been paid on it, just half done.
Just half done.
Half done.
Okay, let's see if we can take one more call. 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 07069 493 3000. I'll definitely ask you to come back again. We'll need to talk about these issues. I'd like to focus on number one, needs assessment. Okay, I have a caller here. Let's attend to this caller. Hello. Oh, we lost that caller. Please call back if you can. I still want to take a call. And I was saying that I will still need to have you back sometime soon. I want to talk about the needs assessment and properly educate our people on how to track this project. Hello, good afternoon. Oh, wow. Okay, so if the call will emanate at this moment, I'll take it. But just know that I just like to beg you to please call rather than just beep the radio station. Okay, so I'd like to focus on needs assessment. That's number one. I'd like to also focus on, dwell at length on what the people can do, apart from contacting budget on their website, on the social media and the rest of it, to have an understanding of what's going on around them. You could also go to the budget office, the National Nigeria, I think it's the budget office or something. I have downloaded all the constituency projects in Nigeria for 2021. I have it here on my phone. It's just about 15 megabytes. It's a very big document, about 81 pages or so. But it will help you to have an understanding of what's going on around you. It's important. We need an enlightened citizenry to be able to drive this development, because if you're not engaging those who are in government, you will not get results.
Sure.
So, your parting shot for today, what do you want the citizens to do in order to get the best of these constituency projects?
What the citizens should do is that they should always aware of what projects going on around them, and always ask questions about any capital project they see around. And whenever they have an opportunity with any public officer, they should try to engage them about development of their community or their area.
So he has also said engage. And that moment is a lot of people will say, if you ask the question, one more, ìgbà iná máa rán yàn kan wá ní kẹ́nìkan wá mú ẹ ọ́ wá pè ẹ́ àwọn alágbára wá pè àwọn kan ẹ bọ́mọ yìí sọ̀rọ̀ ó ti ń béèrè ju o bó ṣe ń ṣẹlẹ̀ náà nìyẹn so tí wọ́n bá ń ṣe project constituency ládùúgbò wa á kàn máa wò wọ́n ràn náà ni ẹ ṣe o
that is the problem we are getting now, because most of us that have the information, some might not have, but most of them that have the information, that we know that we're supposed to ask this question, maybe because of one thing or another, we should not forget that anything we fail to do now is still coming back.
Okay, so you heard it there. Ademuyiwa Adeyemi, an economist as well as an official of Tracker, Project by Budget. Thank you very much for coming.
It's my pleasure.
I'll need you again.
No problem.
All right. So, okay.
Always yours.
All right. So the program is done for today. Okay. So after now, Ibadan News Update at 4:00, and after that, Game On, and after Game On, Splash Rendezvous. We'd like to talk about a few items across the nation, and particularly talk about INEC and some of the matters emanating from them. My name is Michael Olatunbosun. Until then, I'd like you to do everything within your power to make this nation better. Please do not dump refuse in the waterways. The rains are here. It's one of those things those ways of helping development in the nation. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Top of the Fisher Building. This is
Detroit's number one hit music station.
Splash 105.5 FM, your integrity station.
Baba,
Yes, my son.
tell me a story.
Million